Hey, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about how to make the best use of your Wicked Edge practice knife that came with your WE64 sharpener. Now, this knife we have already calibrated to sit at a specific height and a specific point in the vise. So we made this easy for you. Taking your included alignment guide and your depth key, you're going to slide that depth key through the holes in the alignment guide, and then you're just going to plug this into the side of your vise. You will then take your practice knife, set it on the prongs of that depth key, and move it so that the tip of the blade falls right at the B line on the alignment guide. You can then pull this out, set it aside, and your blade is ready to sharpen. Now we've set this angle on this blade to 20 degrees, so I'm going to loosen the thumb screws on my angle sliders and slide them until they are at 20 degrees on that graduation plate. I will then twist these down and lock them in. Next, I'm going to take my stones, slide one onto each guide rod with my 200 grit side facing inwards. Next, I'm going to color in the bevel on this blade with a marker. You may have to press down a little bit as it is a somewhat larger bevel. If there's a little bit of overspill, that's totally fine. Next, I'm going to take my 200 grit stones and do about 10 passes down on each side. Once I've done those 10 or so passes down the length of the blade, I'm going to create a burr. So to do this, I'm going to just work on one single side of the blade and do that exact same edge leading stroke down and forwards, and I'm going to do about 10 strokes on a side. Then I'm going to use my finger, fingernail, cotton swab, or a microfiber towel to check for a burr on the other side. To do this, I'm going to just put the finger against the side of the blade and slide it up. Now I'm feeling for a little catch on the edge of the blade there. I'm not really feeling that yet, so I'm going to switch to the opposite side I was working on. I was on the right, now I'm going to be sharpening on the left. Again, I'm going to do about 10 strokes. Then I will check for a burr on the opposite side that I sharpened on. Again, I will probably have to alternate back and forth a couple of times before I actually feel a burr. But when I feel a burr all the way down the length of the blade on both sides, then I'm good to continue sharpening. Once you've drawn a satisfactory burr down the length of the blade on both sides of it, you can switch to your 600 grit stone and do about 20 passes down the length of the blade. Once you've done those 20 or so passes, you can check that this is sharp with a marker again or your fingernail. I'm pretty happy with that, but if you feel like there are places where the marker is slipping, you can just go back to scrubbing a little bit just in that one location, but make sure you do so on both sides. Now that I'm satisfied with how sharp this blade is, I can unclamp it. So I'll grab it tightly by the handle and just lift the clamping lever on the vise. Should come out easily. Then I'm going to want to clean my Sharpie and metal filings off of this blade. So I'm going to take some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. I like to have it in a spray bottle, just makes it a little bit easier to apply. Spray on a paper towel and then wipe the blade off, making sure to push the blade away from me rather than cutting into myself, because it's pretty easy to cut through a paper towel. Now your practice knife is wicked sharp, so please do be careful with it. You can absolutely redull it and resharpen this if you feel like you need more practice, but we also recommend using the practice knife to help break in these diamond stones, as they have a break-in period of about 10 to 20 knives. They will continue to see improvements in performance up to around 20 knives, where they should even off and have steady, good performance. This practice knife video covers the basics of the entire sharpening process, but if you want to be able to sharpen other knives successfully, you really should watch all the rest of the videos in this series. Thanks for watching.